Welcome to Global Vision. I'm especially happy today because we have with us Cheri Kaufman, who it happens to be also a good friend of mine. And I think that he has so many insights about different industries. He works very committed. He's a great philanthropist and a businesswoman. So welcome, Cheri.
Bisila, thanks for having me. Always, I look forward to our conversations together, my dear friend.
Thank you so much. I would like you to tell our audience, who is Cheri Kaufman? I would like them to know what is your background, a little bit about you.
Well, I was born in New York City. I'm a New Yorker. I love this great city. I grew up in Florida, and it was there that I had a high school drama and English teacher who I credit for really changing my life. Her name was Mrs. Fenster. She always encouraged me to ask questions, and she called on me so often to speak in the classroom. I want you to know I never raised my hand. I was always afraid. I would ask the wrong question. I would give the wrong answer. Yet she insisted that I try out for the roles in school plays and compete in writing contests, I think as a way to help me break through my insecurities. I still remember winning what was called the Silver Knight Award. It feels like yesterday. It was a nationally recognized student awards program in which high schools from all over the United States participated. I even made the front page of the Miami Herald newspaper.
Wow.
I still have a pin from my Silver Knight Award. I left my insecurities in that high school classroom. When I graduated, I pursued my dream to attend college in Boston for business. Then I joined Intercontinental Hotels, where I served as the Vice President of Acquisitions and Development for the Middle East and Asia. But there was one catch. I would have to move to Dubai. And at that time, women weren't really traveling for business in that region. Later, I went to form a concrete and steel trading company called Cheri. I can tell you, it was those experiences that helped me prepare for yet another big leap moment. In the 1980s, I helped co-found Kaufman Astoria Studios, right here in Queens, New York. The experiences I've had from my travels and professional life really gave me an appreciation for global issues. And I've been lucky enough to pursue them through philanthropy and my company, CiGIVE.
Wonderful. I think that's inspirational. And I would like to know, how did you end up in the film and television industry in New York City, and how you became the founder of Astoria Studios? I mean, it's remarkable that women at that time, particularly in New York City. So how did you do that?
Well, what an epic time in my life. In the 1980s, Kaufman Astoria Studios acquired the former home of Paramount Pictures, which was long abandoned and neglected. And as that result, the company moved to California. At that time, there was really no place or home for the arts community to call their own. We wanted to bring back the studio to serve and support the artists, the filmmakers, who so very much wanted to continue living in New York City. There was such electricity in New York during that time. I can tell you, it took tremendous faith, blind courage, and a lot of hard work to bring back the studio. I remember walking my parents through the site right after we acquired it. The expression on my mother's face told me she was thinking I was out of my mind. She always joked with my dad that I had more guts than brains. Maybe she was right, but I never was afraid of taking big challenge risks. Today, the studio is still the largest soundstage on the East Coast, with a campus consisting of 18 acres. It's truly a city. It's been the home of many famous television shows and movies that I'm sure all of you might remember or know. Sesame Street, Law and Order, Orange is the New Black, The Irishman with Robert De Niro, and so many others. So many famous stars made films there. I even named the stages after great female actors who made movies and film history there.
Wow.
Diana Ross, who did The Wiz, Helen Hayes, and Claudette Colbert. It's been quite a journey, let me tell you.
I can imagine what a journey, but your journey don't stop there because, I mean, you raised $100 million. I mean, you must tell me as a woman, what is the key to success to raise capital?
Persistence, persistence, and human capital.
That's the key.
Right, that's the key. I never take no for an answer. I keep trying. I welcome challenges as opportunities. I find opportunities in every interaction. I also believe that human capital leads to financial capital. So everyone understands, I want to be clear, human capital is the connector that helps advance business through relationships, expertise, and knowledge. Being able to leverage your connections, which I know all of you have, with the common goal in mind, has been very beneficial to me personally in my business.
And can you give us an advice about how to create a power network?
We all have the ability to create a power network, but we must ask questions. We must be good listeners. Be authentic is the key. Don't be afraid to ask about what they do and how they do it. People want to share their ideas and what they know. And one day you can call a person for advice and even participation in some future ventures that you have. You know, you never know. So don't waste the opportunity to form meaningful and authentic relationships.
Well, that's a great advice because a lot of women that we talk to, they always say that they have a challenge to create networks and to raise capital. So I think the tips today are really amazing and they're going to appreciate that. But now let's move into your philanthropic ventures, which are incredible. What is CiGIVE?
CiGIVE, I'm so happy to tell you about. A few years ago, I was invited to speak at the UN General Assembly. The audience consisted of senior UN representatives and young leaders who were vetted from all over the world to attend. It was a big deal. After my speech, so many people approached me and asked me if I was willing to speak to them. At that time, I really didn't have a way to engage in the dialogue with them. So I formed CiGIVE as a way to help socially responsible entrepreneurs to get a seat at the table. We offer support and promote these young leaders in their ventures through networking, seed funding, and mentorship. It's been so rewarding and successful journey for us all.
Well, this is really inspirational. And you don't stop there because now it's what you're doing right now, but you're also looking back at the story of women. So tell me about this museum that I know you love so much and that you've been for many years involved, the National Women History Museum. What is this about?
Well, this is so exciting, such an exciting time for women. As you know, March is International Women's Month. Mm-hmm. And as New York chair of the National Women's History Museum, oh, I couldn't be prouder to be part of such an important organization dedicated to telling the history of women. The important contributions that women have added to the great stories of the world have really remained largely untold. In the United States, we have museum for coins, portraits, stamps, and even spy museum. And now, for the first time, women will have their own museum in Washington, D.C. Can you imagine? For the last 2 decades, the National Women's History Museum is committed to celebrating women from around the world. The museum currently has an online presence with millions of subscribers and numerous partnerships with institutions across the United States. Our website features virtual exhibits and events that visitors from around the world can really enjoy. We have well-known celebrity supporters, Meryl Streep, Viola Davis, Kerry Washington, and many other notable women and men. The
Wow.
museum has been, isn't that really incredible? The museum has been a source of great inspiration for young women and men to dream big and pursue any career they want. Today, it's possible for young women to see themselves as astronauts, as engineers, and young men can see themselves as teachers and chefs. This saying always comes to mind: if you can see it, you can be it.
I think you are a clear example of that sentence. If you could see it, you can believe it, because you really, I have been watching you through the years, and you make it happen. And you not only make it happen for you, you also make it happen for others. So that's wonderful. But I would like to conclude with a question that an expert like you should be able to give us some insight. What is the role of business and philanthropy in global business, particularly in these current times?
That's a great question. Corporate and social responsibility are now more than ever so important, especially during this time of global challenges from disease, changing climate, and economics. Certainly, the COVID pandemic has alerted the nation to the threat to human life as we have seen it lately. And in this life and death crisis, nations and businesses, scientists and world leaders have all found the opportunity to unite in the effort to defeat this disease. You know, as the world is doing with the COVID crisis, we can adopt new models for information sharing. Finding new ways for doing things is exactly what innovative disruptors such as Tesla, Uber, Airbnb have done. These companies are changing the face of business, and they all include a social responsibility component in their models. Partnership between business and philanthropy are very important in addressing global issues. My focus and the mission of my company, CiGIVE, is to inspire our next generations of leaders to build meaningful relationships that are socially conscious, scalable businesses. I firmly believe that investing time in tomorrow's emerging leaders is the best way to ensure that really we have a great future. I hope we continue to enrich and celebrate the amazing young women and men in business and the positive mark that they will make in the world today. You want a better world? Go create it.
Wow, what a way to just, inspire us in this particular month. And honestly, thank you so much for just sharing with us your wisdom, your insights, your experiences. I think they've been extremely, extremely useful for a lot of us. And I'm sure our viewers in Spain, in Latin America, they're gonna definitely enjoy to just listening to your words. So thank you so much, Cheri. It was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Bisila. And I want everyone to reach out to me. That's the best thing that I can do for the life we live in today.
So you see, she's a great networker, power networker. Just reach out. Thank you, Cheri.
Thank you, Bisila.